Welcome back to OneStopTutorials.com. This is the third and final part on how to add a search to your website so you guys and girls can get rocking and rolling. 3 tutorials. I'm trying to keep this slow. YouTube allows me 10 minutes. I'd rather that you understand what you're doing than me just showing you, having rock music on in the background. It makes no sense to me, so I'm doing these slow. That's why there's 3 tutorials. It's best that you understand how to do this, and it'll just be a lot easier for everyone. In the last tutorial, we made a page called search_page.html. This is where we're going to put our form, okay? You can call this page anything that you want. It can be search.html. It can be anything you want. It can be an HTML file. It can be a PHP file. It can be anything you want, okay? You'll notice that in this, all we did was add our form, okay? And as I explained in the last tutorial, we had an action of find_search.php. That's then where we made a new file, and we called this new file find_search.php. This has to be called a PHP file, but you can call it anything that you want. So what I want to do now is I want to actually, as we did a file save as and called it a new name, we actually still have this form in here. I don't actually need this form in here no more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into the code view, and where it says form to form, I'm just going to delete that. Okay, I don't need that no more. Next thing I want to do is I want to go back to that search add to page text file that you had, and you'll now notice we got this is PHP add to the top of the page. This bit of code here, you need to copy that, so Control or Command C. You need to come back to the page that you just named, in our case find_search.php, and you need to go right to the top. This bit of code needs to be right at the top. Line number 1, you just need to paste that in there, okay? And that's fine. Now if you've kept the folder structure exactly the same to how I did it, where you just uploaded it, then you shouldn't need to change this. Next thing we need to do is, if we come back to that add to page, you'll notice here this is the where we add to the actual content. So I'm going to copy from the opening to closing of the PHP, Control or Command C. Now this bit is where the result will come, so depending on where you want it is depending on where you put it. I want to put it inside of this div, so I want it that once they've done a search and they've got their results, the results come up in the middle of my content area here. So I'm just going to put it inside of this div again. I'm going to do a Control Command V. Now again, if you followed my folder structure where you just added that to your FTP, then you don't need to change anything. If you're putting this into a separate folder, then you need to put the folder's name first, / includes, stuff like that. Okay, so it all depends on how you add it. So when we come back to design view, you'll now notice we got a PHP icon here sitting there, and we are ready to rock and roll. Okay, so that is it. That is all the stuff that we need to do. Let's test this. Let's see if this actually works. I'm going to go to my FTP, and I need to upload these 2 files, search_page.html and find_search.php. I'm going to come to my FTP. This is what I want. I want the find_search, and I also want the search page. Is that correct? Yeah, search page. So I'm going to click on one, hold down Control or Command on my keyboard, and I'm going to hit the second one. Now all I want to do is drag those into my FTP, and I want to put them in the same place as I uploaded everything else. So it will be, in my case, it will be with the actual HTML files. I'm not putting it inside of a folder. I'm just keeping it all in the same place. So everything looks good. Let's test this out. Fingers crossed. I'm going to go back to what I need to call upon is that HTML page that we made, which was called search_page. So you go to your website, in my case howtodealwithstress.com /search_page.html. okay, come on Ali, sort it out. Search_, come on, this isn't rocket science, page.html. okay, and I'm going to click go, and here we go. Here is that form that I added to that search_page. okay, let's test this out. I'm going to do a search for stress, and I'm going to hit search, and what will happen is you'll now notice that it went to the find_search.php page, which is that little bit, which is this PHP icon here where we added all our code here. okay, it is now picked up live on the browser. It's picked up all pages relevant to the word stress. Okay, it bolds it out, stress, okay, stress. It's all added, and as you'll notice, it added 10 searches to the page. So let's say we did another one. Let's say we do with deal. Okay, if I added deal, see what would happen. It now picks up the word deal, deal, deal. So you now have a fully functional search on your website. Okay, now what I want to show you as well is if we added a word that we don't actually have, something like, let's try Photoshop. Let's see what happens. You'll now notice it comes up as no results found. That is because on our website, on this particular website, howtodealwithstress.com, there is no keywords related to the word Photoshop, which then means that you will not actually get picked up because there's no words for it to find. You know, it's indexed my pages, it's been through every web page of my website, and it's found that, yep, there is no words called Photoshop on those pages. Yet when I stick in a word called stress and do a search, it's picking up lots and lots of pages. Okay, in fact, it's picking up 2 pages. What you also got here is an advanced search, okay, which means that you can home in all of these keywords, none of these words or exact phrases, so you can key straight in. So if I was to type in how to deal with stress, how to, my keyboard's going, how to deal with stress, it picks up just those words on how to deal with stress. So how to deal with stress, how to deal with stress, how to deal with stress, how to deal with stress. Okay, so it's a really fully functional script that all you need to do is follow along in these 3 tutorials. I know they're very long-winded, but it's really important that you understand. And as you can see, we have taken it from just adding a little bit of code. I mean, the only code that we added to our pages was the form and the actual PHP at the top and PHP in the content, and that's it. And we remembering that the page, the second page that you made, so if we come to our search page, remember we sent a thing to a page find_search.php. you need to make sure that where it's going is a PHP file. Okay, in our case find_search.php needs to be a PHP file, and when you come in and test this, you will now have a fully functional search on your website. Hope this has helped you out. This is a really exciting tutorial. I've been asked this question so much. I hope this helps you out, guys and girls. Please let me know if you get any problems. Subscribe to YouTube, check out my website and a forum. I'll catch you guys and girls at the next One Stop Tutorials. Laters, everyone.